So let's go ahead and move on to something that I think everybody would really like to hear about, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be pretty excited to talk about. And that is your Drag and Spirituality Summit that it's coming up really soon.
Mhm.
And what, in October, correct?
Yeah, in October.
So why don't you tell us about it? What is it? How do people get involved? And where's it going to be? And you
Yeah.
know, talk
Yep.
about it.
Yeah. So me and a bunch of my friends from all over the US and Canada mostly get together and throw this drag and spirituality summit. This will be our second year. We're hosting it in San Francisco. And over the years, like back in 2014, I interviewed my first drag queens. And this was before I ever did drag, or did drag like I am now, or even transitioned. And so for whatever reason, I saw God and spirituality in them then. And so like I started interviewing drag artists, and I've interviewed 55 now. And through that process, I've met a lot of drag artists. I'm sure that you're experiencing that, kind of feel like they're all alone in their world, especially when they're talking about their spirituality. It's something that they can't take to the bar with them, or there's just not a venue or uh, event that they can really perform their experience around spirituality. And so, and we all feel like we're mavericks and isolated and alone. And so I try to create an opportunity for us to get together and just kind of come to know that we're not alone, and there's lots of us out in the world, that doing, putting our own little, I guess, our own little light, across the world, doing our little part. And so it's really just a time for us to come together, meet one another, be in community with one another. Drag artists, we do keynotes and panels, and we do spiritual drag performances where people do performance to express their spirituality while in drag. Sometimes it's a lip sync to a gospel song. Other times it's, it's a little bit more intense. Sometimes I've had drag kings who will do like Jewish ritual that only men are allowed to do, or, like, so it kind of allows people to have this opportunity to just to try it out and exist in drag and also in a spiritual way. And so yeah, it's I don't feel like I'm explaining it really well today, but I'm super excited about it. And it's, like we're in our second year, so we're in a new city every year, so it's going to have its own little flavor and its own little I guess, yeah, flavor every year.
Yeah, no. When you're starting off with a brand new event, it has to take its cycles, right? It has to grow. You're going to learn. You're going to add. You're going to take away as you figure all that out. So it actually sounds pretty exciting. What days is it on? October.
October 13th, 14th, and 15th in San Francisco. And so it'll take place in, like, we have like non-spiritual settings as well as spiritual settings. So we kind of move around the city throughout different days, and then the different activities. So we, like, the first day will be in the Castro mostly. We'll be at event centers in the Castro, which is like the neighborhood. We feel like that's a safe, comfortable space for people, because hopefully, or if some folks are maybe kind of like, I'm a drag artist, I do drag all the time, but this spiritual stuff, I don't know, or they have kind of their own spiritual trauma, but they're kind of wanting to lean into it. And so not showing up the first day in a church might be a little bit more comfortable for some folks than others. And so we save the church for the second day. And then we do like performances, in sanctuaries or community centers. It really just kind of depends. And it's still forming. So we have some keynotes that are already picked out, and we have most of our venues, but it's still kind of developing and will depend on the collaborators that we're able to bring on.
Awesome. What's the one thing that you have so far that you're the most excited about?
um oh, the one thing,
Mhm.
I think, I'm really excited to have, gosh, I mean, it's so hard for me to pick like any one thing, because in a lot of ways too, I get to pick, like in creating the programming and the keynotes, it's like I get to pick a lot of like the people that I love and like, or have wanted to get to know. One of our keynotes this year is Mama Ganoush. Another one is Fonda Cox, who is a mental health advocate and eating recovery advocate on a national level. She's a near dear friend of mine, but she's just amazing, and she does almost all of it in drag. And so she even does like DEI trainings in drag, in corporations and stuff. And so I don't know, I like, there's just so many, and there's like, I get to meet people that I'd never met in person. Like last year we had Flamey Grant, who now has the #1 song on the Christian charts. And I had met her before, but not in person. And so I got to actually meet her for the first time in person, you know, because COVID and just travel and everything like that. So for me, it's really nice just to meet these people that I've mostly met through a computer or an Instagram or, you know, some social media. So I really love that aspect, just being in community with folks.
Oh, that's awesome. Church of Fabulosity follows Flaming Grant on Instagram. So, yes, know all about that. That was an amazing experience for her. So, thank you to the country fans that did that.
Yeah, folks who like have spiritual trauma of the Christian flavor, um, like their music is really healing. You know, there's a lot of stuff around like just dealing with religious trauma. And it's very powerful. If you ever get a chance to listen or meet Flamey, I recommend it because she's very I think in church people say she's anointed, but there's something really special happening with her and this moment that's really exciting. And she's like praying for it.
Well, she's fun to follow on Instagram. She puts out some good content.
Yeah, she loves to play, you know, like sometimes it's hard, you know, and I'm sure you've been experiencing this now, and you probably experienced it before, but kind of being out in the social media world, we end up getting a lot of hate and a lot of trolls and a lot of like crap. And Flamey just kind of throws a little gasoline on that fire and does it in a way that's just kind of fun and sometimes petty, but it's really like from us just it has a good spirit behind it. It's not like
Yeah.
just to be nasty or mean. It's more of just like, this is ridiculous, like, so let's poke fun about it because this is really crazy, you know. So
Yeah. Well, before we move on, how do people find out more information about your Dragon Spirituality Summit?
yeah, so the best thing to do is to go to dragonspirituality.com. That's our website. You can register. We are still looking for folks to apply to be keynotes and performers. We're hoping to have our everything lined up by around the 20th, though I'm pretty sure we might have to extend the deadline a little bit more. But so if folks are interested in getting involved, do it now, you know, looking for sponsorships, you know, all that fun stuff. But and you can find us on all the socials.
Awesome.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
Are you
TikTok.
on Threads? Are you on Threads yet?
I haven't. I wasn't a big Twitter. We had a Twitter, and Flamey actually managed our Twitter last year. But I just never was a Twitter girl, and I haven't been a Thread girl either. So, but you know, who knows? It's, you know, part of the awesomeness about this summit is like I'm like the leader, but I'm not like, so many people are bringing their gifts and their expertise and their experience to really create this experience. So I don't have to be good at everything. I don't have to know how to do everything. I can just, you know, let people, you know, share their gifts and go from there.
That's the sign of a great leader, right? Somebody that can inspire, somebody that can give guidance, somebody that can remove roadblocks and take the talents and skills of those that are helping them and use them to the advantage of the whole group.
And
So
do it all while covered in rhinestones.
exactly.